Hello friends. Hunting and other measures to reduce the number of wild boars haven't had any better results. Farmers have domesticated and raised millions of wild boars for daily food, and this is how they domesticated them. Information from the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows that there are about 6 million wild boars existing in the U.S., and they're causing great economic damage. So, is this journey strong enough to ensure balance in nature and meet human needs? The big question is, how can farmers find them, set traps, and ultimately capture them? As a first step, let's start with finding their traces. This is not an easy task, because wild boars like to keep their distance from humans. Footprints hidden deep in soft soil are often the first tracks that farmers need to detect. But will those tracks bring them closer to their goal? They will proceed to the second step, setting cage traps. These traps are placed in areas where wild boars often appear and are meticulously designed. They're not simple, rudimentary devices, but can be considered works of art with a special purpose. But are these traps clever enough to reliably capture wild boars? During sleepless nights, farmers have to venture into the forest to check for traps, and each check always brings with them suspense and hope. But is this journey worth it? The answer is yes. American farmers have proven that trapping and capturing wild boars for farming not only helps protect their farms from the destruction of wild boars, but also brings them great economic benefits. Farmed wild boar meat has a higher value than wild boar meat, helping to increase their income. Furthermore, capturing feral hogs has helped reduce the damage that wild boars cause to American agriculture, which is estimated to be up to $1.5 billion per year. After checking that the wild boar is in the trap, the farmer will bring a vehicle to harvest the wild boar. Based on wild boar farming models, such as free-range farming in forests and farm models combined, with growing agricultural products for pigs, the wild boar farming industry in the U.S. is growing strongly, bringing economic benefits and a significant environment. The model of raising wild pigs in forests is a traditional approach. Wild pigs are raised freely in a natural environment, with food and water provided periodically. This helps ensure wild boar health and meat quality. Wild boars undergo regular health checks to ensure that they are free from diseases that are harmful to humans. Statistics from the U.S. Department of Agriculture show that there are currently about 6 million wild boars in the U.S., and wild boar meat production reaches about 200,000 tons per year. Wild boar meat is sold for about $20 per kilogram, about 50% higher than wild boar meat. This makes wild boar farming in this model an attractive source of income for breeders and meat industry participants. However, wild boars also cause a lot of damage to American agriculture, estimated at up to 1.5 billion USD per year due to eating food from other crops. This has prompted the development of the farm model combined with growing agricultural products for pigs. The farm model combined with growing agricultural products for pigs is emerging as a potential new direction in the livestock industry. Instead of continuing to raise wild boars freely in the forest, farmers have adopted a more creative approach by growing crops such as corn, cassava, and grass to provide food for the wild boars. This may seem simple, but its effectiveness is undeniable. First, this model helps ensure systemic and adequate food for wild boars, thereby improving their health and development. Second, it creates a balanced ecosystem, making the living environment more sustainable. By maintaining a balance between wild boar and natural food resources, this food model plays an important role in preserving local tree and plant species. Although this model is still in the development stage and doesn't have specific statistics, it has attracted the attention of many breeders and researchers. Researchers are conducting studies and tests to determine the economic efficiency and environmental impact of this model. If successful, this integrated farming model has the potential to bring high economic efficiency to livestock farmers, while minimizing environmental damage, which is an important step forward in balancing the economic development. Wild boars farming has become a rapidly growing field in the United States, based on models of farming wild pigs in forests and farm models combined. With growing agricultural products for pigs, this industry is bringing significant economic and environmental benefits. In addition, raising wild boars in an integrated farm model also helps minimize damage caused by wild boars to agricultural and the environment. This can be considered an excellent example of creative ways to use natural resources to meet food needs and protect the environment. How do you feel about American farmers' method of domesticating and raising millions of wild boars? Please comment below in the comment section to let us know. And for now, we're inviting you to continue watching this video.
According to statistics in 2021, the number of wild and racing deer in U.S. farms is about 36.7 million today. Due to most of the agricultural land being abandoned and the younger generation not interested in hunting. The number of deer in the U.S. has increased dramatically over the years. There are now 17 different deer breeds in the United States. It is estimated that about 12 million deer are born each year in the United States. Each female usually leaving 1 to 3 young, but most commonly This is the breeding process of white-tailed deer farm in Texas. After 3 baby deer are born, and they're able to stand up on their own shortly after giving birth. Currently, Texas is the state with the largest number of deer farms in the country, with about 975 farms in addition to this. It is also the state with the largest number of wild deer herds, with about 5.3 million. This accounts for 15 deer herds in the country. Deer weigh an average of 6 to 8 pounds in the wild. During the first 2 weeks of life, their food is exclusively breast milk. In Oklahoma, the calves here start grazing when they are 3 weeks old, but suckling is continued until the calves are 4 months old. As deer mature, they have reached full size and fertility. Deer in the adult stage can participate in the reproductive process and take care of their offspring. There are 223 licensed deer farms in Oklahoma, and the state's deer population is approximately 12 million. Deer usually spend only 3 hours a day foraging, and the rest of the time they spend playing and sleeping. Most deer usually only forage in the early morning and late afternoon. Each day, an adult deer will need to eat about 10 to 15 pounds of food, equivalent to 7% of their body weight. In the wild, deer usually live in herds of 10 to 30. Each herd usually has 3 to 5 males, in which the leader will be the strongest and is responsible for leading the herd to foraging and warning when there is danger. Sometimes we can encounter a large herd of hundreds of deer together feeding. .3 million deer, and 57% of them live in national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. In addition to free feeding on deer raised on the lawns, they regularly eat other foods like corn and grain. These are deer raised on a Missouri farm. Today, Missouri is home to 1.7 million deer, and about 53% of them are wild deer. Hunting in the United States requires you to purchase a shooting license and only hunt a limited number of deer. According to the 2020 statistics in the United States, there are 11.4 million licensed deer hunters, of which 9.4 million are hunting deer with guns and bows. The remaining 2 million are only allowed to hunt deer with bows and arrows. Deer hunting is also managed to ensure environmental protection and to maintain ecological balance. Hunters are required to keep the hunting area clean and adhere to the rules of not harming the environment and other animals. Deer are born every year, so the number of deer present in the country is still increasing rapidly. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel.